record. Oh. Alright, Despondent, welcome to the show. Um, so yeah, today we're talking about impeachment, which is kind of important at the moment. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks for having me on this show, JC.
yes, my crappy show that I have yet to even release yet. That's probably gonna make it nowhere, but I don't care because I'm just gonna do this for the fucking giggles. Um, Gits and shiggles or whatever. Anyway, impeachment. So, Despondent, uh,
Yes,
would you like to introduce yourself and where you lie politically, I guess?
I, I'm, my, okay, fuck, alright, so yeah, there's not really much about me in terms of politics. I guess I'm slightly on the center when it comes to, economics, authoritarian, libertarian scale, and, also fucking, socially, and all that.
So, so you are the big brain in the center.
Not necessarily. I lean right sometimes, but I'm mostly in the center.
Yeah. Anyway, impeachment. Big deal. Kind of happened last night. Well, not fully, but, technically impeached. We put Trump in a peach.
God, no fuck. But how can they fit something so large inside a peach?
I don't know. We did it anyway. um,
I mean, to be fair, it's probably not going to affect much.
I mean, no. I mean, people who like him are still gonna like him, and people who hate him are still gonna hate him.
I mean, and also the Senate is a Republican majority.
And only like maybe, uh, you see, Trump has more disdain among Republicans in the Senate than he does in the House of Representatives.
Yeah,
Um,
but I believe that the party almost
but yeah,
lit. But
it's still as a whole, it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna reach the 2/3, and they'll
yeah,
be lucky if they have a simple majority.
and it's also, I highly doubt, that a majority Republican Senate, even if they do disdain him, is actually going to bother to, impeach him.
Yeah.
Decide they want Pence in control.
I mean, yeah, I think the senators may want Pence in control. And,
I mean, voting for impeachment would just destroy the reputation.
yeah, because the Republicans are fanatical about Trump at this rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't come up with an example of how much people on the right worship Donald Trump.
I mean, a lot of people on the right too.
Uh huh. I don't. I don't know. It's hard to describe his fan base. It's you know.
Very loyal.
Yeah, and anyone who goes against him is thrown out of the party.
Yeah.
Uh, like Mark Sanford, he was primaried uh, in 2018 for saying he didn't like Trump or supported Trump. Uh, and of course, his primary opponent, which defeated him, then got absolutely destroyed um,
Yeah.
in the general election to a Democrat, where it was a solid Republican seat before. It's weird. And then you, of course, have Justin Amash, um, who supported impeachment and then had to turn to independent because everybody was just like, you're no longer a Republican, even though he was one of the most conservative people in the entire United States Congress.
So, and also I think it'd be a kind of dumb play because you ruin your party's credibility if you have someone who is impeached in your own party in recent history on everyone's minds.
Well, yeah, but the Republican base and the people that support Donald Trump aren't going to care, really. Uh, I mean, they're gonna say it was rigged if he is impeached and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
So it's not gonna affect his reputation among his base, but maybe among
yeah,
independents and in the
yeah.
future.
Boy,
I keep messing up by just like moving it over one space too much by accident.
yeah. I'm almost fucking dead. Like,
I've had to restart a
I'm
few times because I'm just like, well, I screwed that up. I
yeah.
don't know how I did that. And it's just like me accidentally clicking the spacebar too early.
I mean, I'm almost to the very top, to the point where you
Yeah.
fucking fail.
Uh huh.
Ah, shit! I did not mean to do that.
That's exactly the moments I have. I'm like, well, with this move, I'm not going to be able to win. um, so I guess I'm kind of a coward for restarting instead of just dealing with the consequences of what I've done.
Except, except the consequences of accidentally messing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's an argument against abortion.
In a way, yes.
Mm-hmm. Except when you have accidents. This this message for parents against death of little babies' fetus.
Society.
Headquarters in Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, I'm just. Oh, I'm a human fuck up. Um, at least that's what my mom tells me.
Shit.
Um. So yeah,
Yeah.
Tetris. But anyway, impeachment is cool. Amash did the based move and voted for impeachment like a based Chad that was a former Republican, and you know,
Yeah.
think he's
I mean, to be fair, I mean, Gabbard abstained, didn't
yeah,
she?
Gabbard abstained. I'm just like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like,
Neolib Twitter is like up in fucking flames after that.
Neolib Twitter is in fucking flames. So is uh, progressive Twitter is also in flames. Um,
I think political Twitter in general, except for the people who just don't give a shit, would be up in flames at this point.
yeah, everyone. Yeah, I don't know. People on Twitter include Trump supporters who just comment on Trump posts and don't do anything else, progressives, neolibs, and then anti-Trumpers, and that whole shebang.
But
So
the question is, how does Trans Strasser's Twitter feel about this?
who?
Trans Strasser's Twitters.
Twin Strassers? The
Trans.
Strasser
I'm joking. I'm joking about. I'm joking about the fucking
Otto and
trans.
Gregor Otto and Gregor Strasser?
Yes.
Oh no. I don't think they're alive to see what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Uh
But yes, there's an entire section on Twitter dedicated to that man's dead ideology.
Strasserism. So basically
Yes.
it's just a Nazbol profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Strasser and Strausser were basically just Nazbols.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's the sole way to describe their ideology. Nazis,
Yeah.
but actually socialist.
Yeah.
Instead of, just saying we're socialist when literally putting uh, the private industrialists into your government.
Society moment. Ah, shit, did not mean to do that.
Society wins you. Okay. When you claim to be socialist, but you actually put in the big private industrialists into your government. Yeah,
Bro.
that's real socialism right there.
Mm.
And then you have the conservatives who, on like PragerU and crap, who are saying that like Hitler was a socialist. I'm just like, sure. You're going just off the name of the party, not anything else Hitler did.
Yep, pretty much.
I'm just like, okay, pretty
Actually
cool, bro.
gotten into small Twitter debates about
Yeah,
this topic.
like seriously, open a history book and you'll see that like Hitler clearly wasn't a socialist. He
I
was,
think one of
but
I think one of his
he wasn't really a capitalist though, because as I said, he put the industrialists into his government, but he also nationalized the industry of the people he put in his government. So technically, the rich barons were getting richer in his government, even though, basically he just. Instead. How should I put this? He made the industrialists into his government, nationalized their industry, basically just meaning private industrialists are now running the government industry, which was theirs when it was private. Kind of weird. I don't know how to describe it.
fuck did not mean to do that. Yeah.
And also, if you see like what's that one World War II documentary about the oh yeah, Prelude to War. Prelude to War. That's it's on Netflix. Have you watched Prelude to War?
I've never watched it before.
Yeah, it's a 1940s American propaganda film uh, about how the war started, and basically during it, they said how Hitler and his military allied with the rich industrialists. I'm just like, wait a minute, are they describing Hitler or the American military-industrial complex?
We may never know.
I'm just like, okay, government not being hypocritical at all.
Since it's not bad when America does it.
Not bad when America does it. You know, I I dislike people who, defend America's every action, but I also dislike people who hate every action the country does.
Yeah,
It's
I
just like,
understand what you mean.
there's some people that are like, well, if America does it, it's bad. And then there's people
And
that are
then
like, America does it, it's good. And it's just like, not
much.
everything's black and white. Like, I
Fuck,
think
fuck.
that's a message everyone probably learned in like middle school.
Yeah, probably.
Not middle school, like elementary. I don't know, pre-K.
Yeah,
It's a pretty basic concept to grasp.
yeah.
Though humanity seems to ceaselessly follow judging a book by its, well, not judging a book by its colors, just seeing things in black and white, and
Yeah.
and
Not everything's black and white, essentially.
yeah, I mean, what in the world? Anyway, and then you had Van Drew, who just decided, I'm going to leave Democrat. I support Trump now. And I saw this, excuse me, I saw this one thing on Twitter earlier, Hellfire place, that basically there's a bunch of attack ads against Van Drew during his campaign last year, calling him a radical socialist and all that. And
Huh?
apparently, like, the website for the Republicans took them all down because they're just like, oh, he Republican now. Oh, oh, oh.
can't be associated with no fucking commies.
Oh, he was a communist last year, but now he's not a communist. Oh, I can't believe it. Why?
It's almost as if every single word that
It's
used to have
it's it's
meaning is now
literally
just a buzzword.
it's literally like that one scene in 1984 where the guy's on stage describing how much they hate this one enemy, and then a dude comes up and tells them that they've made peace with that one enemy, um, and allied with them to defeat another enemy. So they immediately turn to saying, "Other previous enemy good now. We no longer, mm, what's the word I'm looking for? We no longer fight. He no longer bad."
Yeah, that
That's
scene.
yeah, that scene. um, yeah, it's famous scene. I don't know how to describe it, but he's on the stage talking about how much he hates this one group. Dude comes on saying they've allied with said group that they previously hated, and now everyone's just like ranting against the new group that they hate and loving the old group that they hate.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, and yeah, I guess that's just the best metaphor for
Yeah,
just what Republicans do.
yeah,
Anyway,
probably.
what's your thoughts on impeachment? I'm talking a lot here.
I mean, like I said earlier, I think it's in the end just a pointless PR stunt.
Hmm.
I mean, let's assume because as I said earlier, it's not gonna work. But let's assume that for a fact, like I don't know, through some magic, it does work, right?
Hmm.
Well, then what does that do? That puts Mike Pence in power.
Oh no.
And then these Democrats that hate Republicans so much and all that, they just got an even worse Republican who is in in charge now.
And it's gonna
Someone,
take the gays down to Electric Avenue.
yes, someone who is probably far more conservative than Trump is.
Hmm. Both fiscally. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be as tough on immigration and that sort of stuff, but I think he'll be more religious conservative.
yeah. I mean, it's hard to be tough on immigration where you're trying to toughen up on homosexuality.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. If so, yeah. I think that in the end, it's just shooting themselves in the foot because in an attempt to remove Trump from office, what they did is it. But if this does actually work somehow, which it won't, but if it does somehow end up working, then all they ever did accomplish was getting someone worse in off by their standards, worse in office.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's pointless, but a PR stunt that will just end up shooting them in the foot.
Hmm. That's reasonable.
Okay.
In my personal opinion, I know it's gonna harm Democrats, but Trump did commit a crime, in my opinion. I mean,
And I don't follow, the fucking Trump antics that much. So, do you mind telling me what the whole situation is when it
basically,
comes to that
I can't
crime?
believe I've had to explain this to so many people today. I like people. I've had to talk to like my mom, my aunt, just everybody about what is going on with impeachment because they have no idea. They just heard he's getting impeached for some reason and don't know what's the reason behind it. So basically, um, what happened is Trump called up the Ukrainian president, and the Ukrainian president's just like, "Hey, where's our military aid? We want to buy some more Javelin missiles from you guys because we're at war with one of your arch enemies." And then Trump's just like, we'll give you the aid, but we want you to do a favor first." Uh, and what happens then? Is Trump goes on about Burisma and a supposed Ukrainian scandal where Hillary Clinton used Ukrainians to hack into the election and try to get herself to win, which she didn't win, so it's probably unlikely. Um, but basically, the main thing is, Trump wanted to open up an investigation back into Hunter and Joe Biden because they were supposedly involved with this company named Burisma, um, and he was on the board with that. And basically, the whole thing is he wanted the Ukrainians to just rig an investigation to try to get dirt on Joe Biden in order to defeat him in 2020.
So basically, a bunch of illegal shit.
Yeah, a bunch of illegal shit, very illegal shit. Basically, it's it's like Watergate trying to rig election. Not quite that, maybe. I don't know. But like instead of using your own intelligence to gather information on your enemy, you're using the Ukrainians.
You use Ukrainian foreign aid.
Yeah, as a bribe in order to get it's just stupid. I don't know. Trump had big brain moment because all phone calls are, transcribed and recorded in the White House.
Yeah. So
So he and people who were listening, excuse me again, to the phone call, um, when it happened, have said like, he said that he wanted the aid in exchange for the investigation to be open, which is quid pro quo and bribery. Um, so yeah,
big brain moment, asking, trying to bribe people on a phone that is being monitored by the government.
yeah. So we don't know who the whistleblower who brought this all up is, but it's likely to be someone who was on the phone call or saw the transcript of the phone call.
So clearly, government
In like the
personnel.
in like the CIA or something, because they also look at whatever the president's doing to make sure he ain't doing illegal shit. Uh, yeah. Government Other government agencies run by the executive branch aren't really trusted of the person at the top of the executive branch, especially after Watergate.
Yeah. Government is generally untrustworthy, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, way too frequently.
Yeah. So, Trump's now been impeached by the House. Pointless in the long run because, Senate ain't gonna do shit. Um, and then you. Fuck. Basically, now you have all these rambling conservatives on about how you should read the transcript and how the transcript says nothing. And if you go, this one dude went out to a Trump rally, uh, and it was on a late night show, so they might have just clipped together random clips. Some people may have read the transcript, but they went around to a Trump rally asking people if they had actually read the transcript, and almost none of the people at the Trump rally had read the transcript, and they said, "I trust the president's word on this." um,
First mistake, trusting a politician's word on anything.
mm-hmm. Well, Trump's base still tries to claim that Trump is not a politician, that he's an outsider, and that's what makes him so beautiful and great and the glorious God Emperor he is.
The businessman who acts like a politician.
He, like, what is the difference? Why do you trust a billionaire businessman that literally could just want to get in the office to benefit his own company over, a normal politician? Is that, like,
Exactly.
you know,
Both being a politician and a billionaire businessman makes me trust him even less.
yeah,
If there's one thing I've learned in my entire life, it's that there are two people you can never trust: politicians and businessmen.
yeah, and lawyers.
Yeah. But with the lawyers, that's their job. So
Yeah. Um. Now, Van Drew, uh, Jeff Van Drew, that one Democrat who switched parties. That was, hmm, I already said. I already talked about him. Um, but yeah, that dude was just like he was basically just a Democrat in name only anyway. Um, like he was against abortion, against gay marriage, against
why did he choose to identify with the Democrats? Economics?
not economics. I don't know what. It was just he even got kicked out of the Blue Dog Coalition for
Oh,
being too conservative, and that's saying something.
yeah. Why would he go with the Democrats if he's clearly more in line with the Republicans?
I don't know. I just don't know. It's some people are weird like that. I mean, I guess
I don't know.
Heath Schuler was a Democrat in my district, and he was all those things. But the reason he was a Democrat is because um, he was pro civil liberties, and he felt like the Republicans and their Patriot Act and all that was the reason they were like an authoritarian party and they shouldn't be trusted. And he also was fiscally more liberal than he was Republican. And that sort of reflects the Appalachian Mountains as a whole. You know, fiscally, uh, fiscally on the left while socially on the right.
It's like most people this day and age.
Really?
Almost everyone I know is socially on the right, but fiscally, I mean, that is fiscally on the left.
Hmm.
I mean, that's probably just because I
I
hang out
hate
with,
gay people. So
yeah,
like,
I
I hate the gays, but I love Medicare for all.
yes, that is the most based ideology.
Based.
But yeah, I just hang out with like-minded, edgy teenagers.
Yeah. OMG, I'm so edgy and quirky. Love me, beloved me. Need attention.
This part is I don't even act retarded to be edgy.
hmm
I just find it mildly amusing.
Yeah. Um. I don't know. I hang out with a bunch of weebs and nerds. I'm a nerd, but I'm not a weeb. But
Are the body pillows too powerful for you?
I don't know. I don't. They watch anime. I don't think any of them will watch too much hentai. I know some of them watch hentai though.
You never know with the weebs.
I don't know. The one, actually, the one person in my friend group that I know watches hentai is actually a girl.
Actually, what?
is actually a girl.
Oh,
And I'm just like, bruh.
10 anime plot twists.
But she's Asian, so
Makes sense.
yeah, makes sense. That in Asia, isn't there like in like well specifically China, isn't there like a lot more men than there is women?
I think I'm not sure. I I do know that China has like some weird one-child policy or whatever, which
They
puts
had a one-child policy. Now they have two.
put an imbalance on population numbers between genders because now instead of two kids in a family you had like one.
Yeah, and you would want the one that'd probably be more successful in life.
And there's also the whole thing. Yeah,
hmm
I you're probably right. I just don't pay much attention to China at all, so I have no. really nothing to say on that.
Yeah,
Can't really confirm or deny.
yeah. Pretty based, pretty red pilled, pretty epic. Um. Oh shoot. Uh. That's a right piece. I don't need this. I don't want this. How do I skip it? How do I skip it? How do I skip it? Tab. No. That just left the.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Are you having your own moment?
Yes, I didn't get my piece in the right position in time. Oh god! Oh fuck! No! No! God damn!
Anyway. Uh. What else is uh
Let's see.
going on as of late? What's new discussion? This is um. We want it to get off topic, so that's what we're trying to do here.
Let's see. Well, let me pause the fucking thing here. All right. Let me see. Well, there's stuff that I mean. You probably don't want to discuss the Rise of Skywalker stuff since you want to go in blind.
Yeah, I'm going in blind.
Let's see.
I'm going in full blind. Like, well, I've watched the trailer. I've watched one trailer, but I'm going in without any spoilers. And
Yeah.
it comes
I
out
mean,
tomorrow.
there's the stupid J.K. Rowling situation.
What happened?
J.K. Rowling, I think it's like J.K. Rowling defended some woman who got booted off of something because well, they said some like transphobic bullshit or whatever.
Somewhat.
UK News. J.K. Rowling faces backlash for defending a woman who lost her job after transgender comments.
So wait, J.K. Rowling, the person that has made her characters gay to catch up with social norms after she's written the books, now's defending people that are transphobic.
Yes, I'm being serious here. I even tabbed out of my game, my Tetris game,
Whoa,
to check out
no.
what it was.
What in the...
And as you can
J.K.
imagine,
Rowling confuses the living shit out of me.
as you can see, the neoliberals and the sock dems are like absolutely fucking pissed, but she's alienated the right wingers, so the right isn't really going to her defense at all.
I mean, that's just flip-flopping at that, right? It's like, oh, all the conservatives are mad at me? Well, might as well defend a transphobic person. Oh, wait, now my... Now all... Whatever, I don't know.
And
Stupid. It's
I don't
just
know the full
stupid.
context of, why that person, lost their job or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I find it kind of stupid to fire someone over political opinions. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't fire someone off of political opinions, but if it were in the context of like your employees were harassing trans couple customers, you know,
Yeah, if your employees are
publicly,
harassing customers and other employees over this bullshit, then yeah, they should be fired.
yeah.
But
But
if it's
if they just randomly said it with, I'm okay with you believing that as long as you don't like physically, or express it, or like express your disdain towards their face.
yeah,
Like, be chill with them.
yeah, like if you're against it, don't like fucking I don't know, walk up to them with a fully loaded machine gun. I'm sorry, but you disagree with, but you're choosing a lifestyle I don't like, and then fucking murder them.
Yeah, like my you see, my problem with people who are against homosexuality is just like, who gives a crap? Like, in the Bible, if that's your context for disliking them, it's not between us and the people who are gay, it is between God and the people who are gay.
Yeah, not really something we should concern ourselves with.
Yeah. I mean,
That's why my opinions on homosexuality are really just, I mean, I'm not going to do that shit. It's a sin, but I'm not going to complain when other people do it.
yeah. Yeah. It's just, And I think people are slowly starting to realize that because, I guess you don't see mainstream Republicans or conservative figures going out against homosexuality anymore.
Yeah,
But at the same time, a lot of their base is still really homophobic.
yeah.
Like, I've seen like Pete Buttplug trending. Like
Seeing what now?
Pete Buttplug making fun of Pete Buttigieg for being gay.
Ah,
Yeah, just like why? Just like I don't know. So weird. Everything's weird. I see. I wish I could be old enough to remember what politics were like before Trump came around, because
yeah.
it's just from what everybody tells me, it's never been like this before, and I
I
I
figured
don't
that.
I don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah, I figured that shit would change after he came in office. Like I realized, like when I was younger, I when I was moving more radical, I started to realize shit's gonna change politically
Yeah,
after, since this man is in office.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. As a when during the 2016 election, I was really scared because I thought our nation would be, you know, people would be sent to concentration camps or something, because it was just like 12-year-old me. Like I didn't know what he could actually do in office. I was just like,
Yeah,
he's gonna do bad thing, and I don't like that. But he
yeah,
he has done bad things, but it's nowhere near as bad as I imagined it when I was 12 years old.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I was like, I don't know, I think I was maybe like 11 when he was elected into office. I
Mhm.
was, watching the thing, and even though I didn't want to win, every time I saw him close to victor, I got that rush like, holy shit, is he gonna win?
Like no one
It's not that I supported
like
him or
for
anything else.
weeks after he got elected, it was just like strings of like feminist wrecked compilation crying during Hillary Clinton's campaign, uh, you
Yeah.
know, final rally or
I
whatever it
mean,
was.
to be fair, people who cry over election results are fun to make fun of simply because they're pussies.
Yeah. Um, I guess that sort of is true. I mean, you know, I was 12 years old. I had sniffles, I guess was the most thing, but that was defendable because I was 12 years old and I thought people were going to get sent to concentration camps for
Yeah.
some reason.
At the time, I was more impressed that like, holy shit, is he winning? And it was
Because everyone
kind of
said he was not going to win.
yeah, it was basically the equivalent of watching a race and seeing that one person you don't want to win start getting close to victory when he wasn't supposed to win, and you can't help but feel like, whoa, kind of
It was
impressed in a
definitely an
way.
upset, but it definitely was an upset. But the polls, the the 2 days before the election, had it getting really close. Like
Yeah,
it was down to the wire by the last few polls. Like if you can still go up on Real Clear Politics as average, and by the end of it, like the polls were starting to go more in favor of Trump, though still it had Clinton winning by about 2% and that sort of stuff, which she did in the popular vote. It was just that Wisconsin and all those places decided, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania decided, were gonna flip. You know,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's just anyway. The Democratic primary. 15 minutes to the debate. So let's use these last 15 minutes to talk about the primary real quick. Um, so, what is your thoughts on this? Do you really give a shit?
I haven't been paying attention to any of this shit since like very early into 2019, like when Yang is still, very kind of popular in a way.
Yeah,
Uh,
he still has a lot of that support, but he's no longer
Yeah,
as big of a meme as he was, especially on. He's
yeah.
lost his 4chan support.
I mean, like was able to see, like Yang by the time the election hit, Yang was not as much of a meme as he was then as when the election hit.
Yeah.
Because I was around when like fucking Yang Gang first started. I was very keen on Yang, and then I just stopped giving a shit about the election, and it seems everyone else did too. Because the Yang train wasn't really going as full force as it was when the debate started,
Mm-hmm.
as it was when he first announced his camp. His
Well, he announced
he's
it. He announced it way before. Um,
election
way before other people started announcing it. He announced it in like early 2018. But
somewhere around.
he became a meme because since he was one of the early candidates, uh,
Is probably the most
an
memorable.
excitement for the election was coming up. Shows wanted him to come on, so he just started to, since he was one of the only candidates running, he started to get on like Joe Rogan and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and also I it the I'm not sure. I mean, I think the term is accelerationist. I don't know, but he appealed to a lot of doomers who really didn't give a fuck about anything anymore.
Yeah, a
And,
thousand
and it's
dollars
like,
per month for free. Wow, I'd like that, especially that I'm
like,
living off of Social Security and welfare.
like the people. Like I saw a lot of anti-gun control, anti-abortion people who were supporting Yang, who is for the things that they were against because fuck yeah, $1,000.
Yeah, I
Even I
mean,
was among that crowd.
Trump,
I'm
like even Trump supporters like preferred him at one point. He wasn't polling high, but he was like he had this core base that he created, and now it's
feel
just a
like
bunch of, and now instead of that crowd, it's just a bunch of millennials who are like $1,000 per month for free. Wow, I want that.
that's what happens when the majority of your early support base aren't of voting age,
Yeah, yeah,
because the doomer crowd are usually people who are usually like
below
Gen Z.
18, and just like you know the depressed gang in high school mainly that
Pretty
spend their
much.
afternoons on 4chan and Reddit and shit.
I'm not even saying that Yang doesn't have any more support. I'm just saying that the
His
Yang Gang meme has kind of died down.
Yeah, his support online has decreased, and his support has mainly switched over to a more millennial base
Yeah,
because those are the people that like quote free stuff.
and millennials are the people who actually care to vote.
No,
Like,
no, they don't care to vote at all.
I mean, they care more than Zoomers. I mean,
They care
the
more
way
than
I'd say it,
Zoomers, but like the they do
but they
not
definitely care to vote more than Zoomers.
compared to Gen X and Boomers, they don't. They
Compared
are
to Gen X and Boomers, they don't, but those people are going to die soon. So when I say they care to vote, I mean they care more to vote than our generation
yeah
because they've yet to see the futility of it all.
yeah. Well, if you go around, our generation so far does not give two craps about politics whatsoever.
I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure politics has just become a meme for
yeah,
our generation.
yeah. They, you know, it's just become so toxic and cancerous that people in our
Don't even care.
generation do not care.
Yeah. Like half of my political takes are just completely ironic at this point because I could not give a fuck about serious politics.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
just because, no matter what you do in America, you're going to get you're going to have to choose between the lesser of two evils.
yeah. Like,
And
okay,
even then, everything's just going to be a status
hot
quo
take.
for the rest of your life.
Abolish the two-party system.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's what we do need to do. I mean, when you try to clump a bunch of fucking ideologies into two parties, you
You
know,
just result in a horrific abomination.
yeah, that can't
Like,
function like it is now because the Democrats are divided between like three main factions: the progressives, uh, the moderates, and the you know
neoliberals.
socialists, and also the mainstream liberals. That's right.
Like, the Democrat Party and the Republican Party are tents. That's what they are.
Yeah, they're
They're
big
tents with
tent parties.
people who hate each other stuck together. Like on the Republican side, you have libertarians but anti-weed, and you have actual conservatives, which is like a 1 in a million
And then
chance thing.
then you have like neocons,
You
paleocons, paleolibs.
I mean, neo. I mean, neocons count as libertarians but anti-weed.
I guess so.
And in my opinion, neoconservatives, it's just pretty like I'm not sure if people would call Turning Point USA neocons,
I
but
think they're
they definitely appeal to that.
paleocons. They're
Yeah,
paleocons
but they
because they're
definitely appeal to that. They definitely appeal to that demographic, but they're just kind of becoming more and more mainstream every single day, and it's to the point where. But here's the thing:
well, it
in
is
modern times,
TPUSA is
you
TPUSA is a student movement. So
yeah, it's a student movement. But here's the thing: in modern day times, you can't be truly conservative and mainstream. If you're conservative and you want to become mainstream, you have to shill your values to be accepted. And that's what people like Turning Point USA and other people do. That's why I call them libertarians, but anti-weed. Their only actual defining trait is that they're free market. Everything else is is changeable at any moment.
hmm. What about their anti-transgender stance?
And that'll go away soon.
Uh, so basically, paleo libertarians is what I believe a lot of conservatives are. They aren't actual libertarians.
They're
You have people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and Stephen Crowder and Sargon of Akkad going around
isn't
saying how
isn't Sargon a classical liberal?
that's what he claims to be, but then he goes on racist rants. Um, so
Here's the thing.
he said that like the people at the border separated from their families deserve to be separated from their families.
This is one of those times where I tried to figure out if this man was being ironic or completely serious.
What?
I mean, he's a complete fucking retard, and that's what I'm trying to figure out if he was being serious or not.
I don't know. But
Like,
basically, you have all these people saying that they're libertarians when their entire social philosophy is based on social conservatism, which is staunchly not libertarian because
at the
libertarians are
same time, their economics are very libertarian.
yes, so that's paleo libertarianism what they are.
That
Uh,
That's basically what I was trying to refer to when I said libertarians but anti-weed.
yeah. Actual libertarians are mostly in the Libertarian Party, though the Libertarian Party is actually ANCAP for the most part.
Actual libertarians, they're basically ANCAPs, but the government exists for the sole purpose of doing nothing.
Yeah. Like, they want to abolish all taxes, which basically means government will not function.
They cannot do shit.
It cannot enforce anything if there is no means of funding itself.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah.
What is the point of keeping a fucking government around if they can't even fund the advantages of having a government, such as security in
Yeah.
the form of a police force or military? They
Yeah.
can't even fund that shit. Why even have a government at that point?
Yeah. So that's why most libertarians at this point are ANCAPs, and there's some like, but Johnson, as weird as he seemed, was actually a moderate libertarian for most of the party. Like, he he was the only uh, libertarian presidential candidate that said he wanted to keep driver's licenses.
To be fair, isn't driver's license like the only form of ID you have in
Yeah,
that the United States officially has?
yeah, and it also
You know,
is, and
catching
and
people for a
basically
reason.
he said, well, I'd like people to be qualified to drive, and he was just booed. And then there was, of course, the heroin incident. He said basically one candidate said he said, well, I think there should be laws on drugs because we don't want our kids going out and smoking heroin. And there was a loud bunch of cheers, and then after slowly after the cheers, a bunch of boos started happening. It's just like, wait a minute, you
You can't
guys
appease anyone.
want your kids to shoot up heroin as 5-year-olds.
I mean, who wasn't shitting up heroin when they were 5?
I don't know. I don't know. I was out there snorting up some good old glitter.
But yeah,
Anyway, I guess that's all the time we have for today.
yeah,
Uh,
it's.
Thanks for joining me, Despondent. Hope you enjoyed the whole thing today.
Thank
Uh,
you for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
yeah. Well, you're welcome. See you next time.